Good morning and welcome to the Think Sandwell Employment and Skills event as part of the Black Country Business Festival 2020. My name's Nicola Farrow. I'm an advisor with the Employment and Skills team here at Think Sandwell, and along with some of my colleagues today, we're going to be giving you some information as to how our team can help you to support your business to grow and develop its most important asset, your staff. In light of the impact that COVID's had on the business community, the government has announced various support and incentive schemes. Today we're going to be taking a whistle-stop tour of what's available to hopefully give you some ideas and inspiration. But of course, what we really want you to take away from today is that our team are here to help you navigate through all of this. Also, you're going to be meeting our specialist employment team, who are going to give you an overview of how employing a person with a disability can benefit not only your organisation, the wider community, and of course they'll be telling you about the support they can offer you around that. So please don't forget the chat function. We'll be taking questions at the end with a dedicated question and answer slot, but if you've got a burning question while we're talking, just pop it in the chat box and I'll do what I can to get it answered for you. Okay, so let's make a start. I'm going to hand you over to Suzanne Allen, who's going to take you through our offer. Okay, and queue up.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Suzanne Allen, Employment Team Senior Manager within Think Sandwell Employment and Skills Team, and I'm going to take you through our offer to you as local employers. So first of all, for those who don't know us, we are a team that's made up of experienced and skilled advisors. They come from a variety of backgrounds across private sector, public sector, recruitment and/or training. As you can see, we have a wide remit. We recruit to all level 2 and 3 apprenticeships at the council, as well as for local employers recruiting to their apprenticeship vacancies too. In addition, we support these employers to recruit to both skilled and semi-skilled positions that they have. We work across all industries. Different members of the team specialise in specific sectors such as construction, care, engineering and more so. We also reverse market to vacancies and/or opportunities, enabling local people looking for work to contact us, discuss their needs and aspirations and support them to apply to local vacancies, at the same time as showcasing them to employers that have a demand for certain skills. In a sense, job matching them, enabling them to gain employment. So what does this mean to you as an employer? Well, in working with us, you'll receive impartial advice. As a local authority, there are many organisations that we link with, such as DWP, local colleges and training providers, providing you with information that you can make an informed decision on whom to choose as a delivery partner. At that same time, we will discuss with you your business needs. We will gain an understanding as what's going to work best for you and your business. We like to find the best solution to get the right person that fits the job. We are experienced in this and have access to a lot of information, updated as quickly as it's released. And if we don't know what the answer is, we know where to go and get that help. And when that's the case, we'll signpost you to someone who can help you. So we've identified today 3 broad areas that we feel you will be interested in to help your business. Recruiting new staff, improving the skills of your existing staff, and identifying opportunities that you may be interested in supporting local people to gain relevant experience and/or employment. As Nicola mentioned, this is a quick overview. So for the finer detail, our contact details will be available for you to get in touch to find out more. So when it comes to recruiting new starts to your company, Think Sandwell can help with finding both apprentices and skilled staff. Now, we're not a recruitment agency, and whilst we do have people that we are working with, we don't have people on the books, so to speak. So each recruitment that we carry out for you will be bespoke. We use a variety of methods to recruit. Where appropriate, we use traditional websites such as Indeed or the job centres, as well as our own council website. We also have an email vacancy bulletin with nearly 12,000 subscribers, and we use both Think Sandwell's and the council's social media to promote opportunities. We'll offer you as much or as little support as you want throughout the recruitment process. You'll have an allocated broker from the team who will help compile a job description for you if needed, can give you ideas on interviews, questions to ask, and even sit on interview panels with you if that's what you'd like. We can simply advertise and provide a pre-sifted selection of candidates for you to interview. Going on to pre-employment training, what does this mean for you? It means if you require specifically trained people, i.e. with a certain ticket or a certificate like food hygiene or first aid or CSCS, we can help them to access training to make sure they've got it before they apply for your opportunity. It goes without saying that we sift candidates before you meet them, so hopefully you're getting the cream of the crop. They'll be motivated and they know what they've applied for and they're really up for the job. You might want to consider taking on an apprentice to help grow your team. We are very passionate about apprenticeships. Nicola and I are members of the West Midlands Apprenticeship Ambassador Network, and the whole team are real advocates of how an apprentice can benefit your organisation. As a council, we offer over 60 different apprentice qualifications to new starters and existing staff from level 2 up to level 7, which is the equivalent to a master's level degree. We deal with over 30 colleges and training providers, and we've started over 300 people on apprenticeships within the council since 2017. As you can see, we've developed an award-winning apprenticeship programme that we're understandably proud of. In particular, this year's ranking in the top 150 employers in the country, based on surveys carried out from our own apprentices. So how can this benefit you? We're very experienced in recruiting apprentices. We can offer you impartial advice on what qualifications would suit the role you're looking to fill. We can put you in touch with training providers and broker that relationship for you, taking the time out of the recruitment. An apprentice requires settling into a new role, first job for instance, and we offer mentoring for your apprentices to overcome any initial concerns that anyone has at any point during their apprenticeship. There are many incentives available for employers, and for taking on an apprentice between now and the end of January 2021, there are additional. So for a 16 to 18-year-old, it's £3,000. For a 19 to 24-year-old, it's £2,000. And for an apprentice over 25, it's £1,500. There are additional incentives for anyone who wants to take on someone who's got a disability or comes from a background that is eligible for an additional £1,000. The payments are split, so you receive 50% at 90 days and 50% after 365 days. And you can put those funds towards anything that you wish. The apprentice national minimum wage is £4.15 an hour, which is roughly £7,900 per year. So these incentives go a long way towards that salary cost. You can also get help towards the cost of training for an apprentice. As a council, we are apprenticeship levy payers, and in partnership with the West Midlands Combined Authority and authorities across the West Midlands, we have made available funds for SMEs, small businesses in the region. That simply means that we can help you access funds to cover the cost of the apprenticeship qualification, no matter what the age of the apprentice. I realise that's a lot of information to take in. So here's a breakdown of what's available in terms of the incentives. And again, to reiterate, we're here to help you navigate through all of this. So if you're taking on a new starter, if taking on a new starter isn't right for you right now, then you could consider upskilling the team you already have in place. So again, apprenticeships can be a real valuable tool to do just this. There's no age limit to who can do an apprenticeship. They just have to have an employment contract that will cover the length of their apprenticeship training. The qualifications can range in cost from £2,000 to £27,000 depending on the level they're studying. This is a lot of money, and as I mentioned earlier, we can support access to funding this to help with the cost of the qualifications, so it will become less of a burden in the actual cost of the qualification for upskilling your staff. There are over 600 apprenticeship qualifications available. And they're all being created by employer-led groups known as trailblazers, and they are relevant to the industry and where appropriate include accredited qualifications such as City and Guilds or industry accreditations. Again, your dedicated broker will help you find the most suitable qualification for your learner. You can see we've mentioned 20% off the job learning, which is something that you will hear a lot about. This is something that you do have to take into account, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your staff member is out of the business for 1 day per week. For most of the qualifications, they have to evidence this 20% as off the job learning, and it can be time spent doing development activities such as team meetings, internal training, or it's any additional learning, so it's quite easily achieved, and we can help break that down and explain it to you. If an apprenticeship isn't suitable for your staff, we may be able to help access funded training courses for them. This could mean that there is no cost to your business for the training. These can be shorter courses in areas such as customer service, digital skills, team leading, and they can be delivered flexibly to suit your needs. We can put you in touch with organisations who deliver this training who can provide you with more information around this. Last but not least, we come to the sorts of opportunities that you may have heard of in one format or another. As we know, the impact of COVID has been particularly hard on young people in terms of employment opportunities available to them. Young people are more likely to be disadvantaged in the labour market as they may not have relevant work experience or even any experience of the workplace. These programmes have been designed to help remedy that. You may be able to offer support of a placement to someone at no financial cost to you. Firstly, we have Kickstart. So this has been recently announced by the government. This scheme offers a paid placement to a young person for up to 26 weeks. They will be with a host employer and getting paid national minimum wage for their age. As the employer, you will be able to claim the cost of the wages, plus pension contributions and national insurance back from the government. So there's no financial risk to you. What do we mean by a work placement? Well, it can't replace a planned recruitment. So if your company absolutely is dependent on a vacancy being filled to operate now, then a Kickstart placement isn't suitable for you. And we can help you recruit a member of staff in the route mentioned earlier. A Kickstart placement is formed around entry-level duties. So you as the employer provide training in your processes and procedures, and the young person will be getting a taster of life in the workplace. We hope that in the event that they become productive and impress you, then they can be offered a job. However, if there isn't any availability for a vacancy, we will be able to support them after the placement ends to look at other vacancies, as they will have achieved 6 months experience on their CV. There is also funding available to help them with employability skills, and this is something that we can help you put in place alongside the placement. If 26 weeks of a placement seems a bit long to offer to have someone on work experience, then there are also traineeships, and these offer unpaid work experience placements for young people between 6 and 26 weeks. There are also employer incentives available for hosting these placements, and the traineeship programs are run in conjunction with local colleges and training providers. If this is something you're interested in, we can help introduce you to one. So we're back at the sat-nav again. A reminder that there's a lot of information out there, and that Think Sandwell are here to support you to navigate through it all. I'd like to leave you with our contact details. If there's been anything that has sparked your interest or you want to find out more, here's how to get hold of us.
So that's great. So thanks, Suzanne. And that contact information will be available again for you at the end of the presentation. So let's go over now to our specialist employment team. And they are going to show you how you can really add value to your recruitment and improve the inclusivity of your workforce. You've had enough of us talking at you for the moment. So first of all, here is Kieran, and he's going to be going through a quick quiz around your understanding of disabilities and employment. So hi, Kieran. You're on. Oh, no. Kieran, you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Thanks, Nicola. Hello, everyone. My name's Kieran, and welcome to the Disability Inclusion Quiz. Quick quiz just to get us thinking about sort of disabilities and employment within the UK. So you can see the first question there. I'm not going to be answering any of them. Feel free, if you want to answer the questions, feel free to put it in the chat box, and we can see what some of you what some of you think the answers are. But I will reveal the answers in the next slide on the stats page. So the first question, which value below reflects how many people have a disability within the UK? 1 in 3 people, 1 in 4 people, 1 in 5 people, or 1 in 6 people? Now, which percentage values below accurately reflects the proportion of people with learning disabilities in paid employment? Is it less than 9%, less than 3%, less than 6%, or less than 12%? Okay. Next question, which value below reflects the proportion of people in the UK who can experience a mental health issue at any one time in their lives each year? Is it 1 in 4 people, 1 in 5 people, 1 in 6 people, or 1 in 7 people? And how many disabled people are there in the UK? 5.9 million, 10.9 million, 3.9 million, or 13.9 million people? Next question is about the purple pound. So for those of you who don't know, the purple pound is the spending power of people with disabilities in the UK. Now, does anyone out there, do any of you know how much this is actually worth to the UK economy? Is it 74 million pounds, 164 billion pounds, 200 billion pounds, or 274 billion pounds? And the final question, guys, is about corporate social responsibility. So this is a set of ethical principles a business participates in, but what advantages does the business gain from this? Increased brand awareness, increased employee satisfaction, positive impact on the local community, or having a diverse and inclusive workforce? So just going to go to the answers now. So in response to the first question, there are actually 1 in 5 people who have a disability. So, you know, as we can see from that figure, disabilities are a lot more prevalent than we think within the sort of general UK society. In terms of the second question, people with learning disabilities in paid employment, it's actually less than 6% of people with disabilities who are actually in paid employment. Now, this is a figure that the central government have made a pledge to try and sort of increase that. And it's something we as a service, a specialist employment team, are actively engaged in within Sandwell, try and help more young people with learning disabilities getting into sort of paid work, supported internships and things like that. Now, in terms of the mental health question, it's actually 1 in 4 people who experience a mental health issue at any one time in their life. And naturally, since lockdown, this is, you know, mental health has been a major issue, and it's something that we're all sort of trying to tackle as a society. Now, in terms of the amount of people in the UK living with a disability, it's actually 13.9 million people. And with regards to the purple pound question, it's actually worth 274 billion pounds to the UK. And as you can see, it's a staggering amount of money. and a lot of businesses are actually missing out on this, maybe due to a lack of knowledge or understanding of people with disabilities. Now, in terms of the corporate social responsibility question, it's actually all of those multiple choice options is actually the correct answer, so they can all be a potential benefit for your business. Corporate social responsibility, it's a trend that has been gaining a lot of traction within companies of all sizes for the last 10 years or so. We as a service, a specialist employment team, we can help you with your corporate social responsibility needs by assisting you to recruit from the local labour market, including people with disabilities. This would create a diverse, inclusive local workforce, and hopefully that would in turn have a positive impact on the local community, and this would hopefully create a positive image of your company.
Thanks, Kieran. So you can see here, this is our service offer to you. The specialist employment team is part of Think Sandwell, and so we mirror what Suzanne's team offer, in that when working with us to recruit staff, you would also benefit from a dedicated employment broker to manage the end-to-end recruitment process for you, complementing your existing HR function. We can provide your company with disability inclusion training. This has the benefit of not only helping you to improve your support for existing staff with disabilities, but maybe even encourage you to innovate products or services for people with disabilities and tap into that purple pound economy. Access to work is a key means of support from the government, and basically any reasonable adjustments that are necessary to enable someone with a disability or health condition to carry out their role, access to work can help meet those costs of this. The forms can be quite lengthy to navigate, but this is something that our advisors are very experienced in completing, and so is a way that we can help remove any barriers to people entering the workforce. We work with people with a disability or health condition to help them prepare for employment. We have bespoke training developed as a result of our years of working with this client group. For eligible candidates, we can also access funded training. So if you needed people with health and safety training, for example, we may be able to access this prior to employment, or even through that skills for the workforce training that Suzanne mentioned previously. This means that we can ensure that we have a pool of work-ready candidates who are keen and motivated to find employment. We just need some employers with vacancies to fill. And lastly, we have in-work mentoring. So not only do we remove barriers into employment, but we aim to help employees with disability to sustain their employment. And this is really, again, a specialist service that's bespoke to the needs of the individual and the sorts of duties they are carrying out at your company. Some examples would be we can provide job coaching around how to carry out job duties, provide pictorial diagrams, flowcharts for someone who prefers visual aids rather than having to read instructions. We can advise on adjusted job descriptions, reasonable adjustments in the workplace, basically whatever is needed to support you to effectively train and retrain your staff. And the result is an incredibly motivated and loyal workforce. So now I'm going to hand you over to my colleague Rachel, who is going to talk about some case studies of an individual and an employer we've had successes with, to give you an idea of how we can work with you.
Thanks, Kate. So first we have Phoenix Brands. We've been working with Phoenix for around 4 years now, and we've become the first point of call when it comes to recruiting staff. So some of the support we've put in place during various recruitments has included work trials, and this is an excellent way for both the candidate and you as an employer to try before you buy, and it's something that we actively encourage our clients to do. When available, we have also helped Phoenix to access sector-specific training. We've helped candidates access funded courses in manual handling, food safety, health and safety and food hygiene, all safety critical training required to work in their industry. As the courses were funded, there was no cost to the employer, so they are getting candidates with the right skills and relevant training. We'll support you through the entire recruitment process. An example of that is that we've attended their site to assist new employees who struggle with reading and writing to complete the induction paperwork. We help complete the access to work referrals. This ensured that the company received funding towards the cost of a workplace job coach, someone who can help the employee learn to carry out their duties. All of this has saved the company time and resources. Phoenix Brands have recruited individuals with a variety of health conditions, including mental health, schizophrenia, learning disabilities, autism, and hearing impairments, enabling them to have a diverse workforce whilst meeting their corporate social responsibilities. Just last week, we received this email from Jordan, a young man who we first placed at Phoenix over 2 years ago. I think that really says it all as to why we're doing what we do and the impact that employment has on someone's life. Secondly, we have Chris's story. So when Christopher first contacted us to ask for support, he was fixated on working for McDonald's Hales Home, as this is where he undertook 2 weeks work experience when he was at school. Chris didn't want to work anywhere else. I arranged a meeting with the manager and negotiated for Chris to undertake an unpaid work trial. Well, Chris turned up every day before his shift start time and always wanted to stay later than he was required. This can be a common trait with people with learning difficulties. They are generally highly reliable and committed. They also work very well in repetitive roles. Due to Chris's enthusiasm, commitment and can-do attitude, the manager at McDonald's really wanted to give him an opportunity. However, due to the nature of the business being fast-paced and needing staff to be adaptable to work in various areas of the restaurant, a role needed to be carved for him. The manager created a job which enabled them to employ Chris around 3 years ago, and he's still there till this day. So Chris is basically responsible for the replenishment of the milkshake machine and the fry station in the kitchen. So he works set days, Friday to Sunday, 12 till 8, and he absolutely loves it there. So by Chris undertaking this job carved role, which suits his abilities, it enables the more skilled workers to have the time to focus on more skilled tasks. This means better productivity within the business.
So, we've heard how the team can support you to recruit someone with a disability or health condition to your company. Suzanne mentioned earlier that there are incentives available for taking on an apprentice. Well, someone with a disability can do an apprenticeship, and so there are slides on the figures. If you take on an apprentice with an education, health and care plan between now and the end of January, you can receive £3,000 in government incentive grants, and we can help you to claim these. Here are our contact details, and if you're interested in anything that we've talked about today, please do get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Great, so thanks, Kate. So there you go. Hopefully plenty for you to think about there. So like I said at the beginning, we are here to answer any questions that you've got. I realise that there's been a whole load of facts and figures and information given to you there. So we have had some questions come through in the chat function, and if you do have anything that you want to ask, just pop it in there. Only I can see it, so no one's no one's going to see it. There's no silly questions. So one of the questions that we've had come through already is what support do you provide to candidates with disabilities when they start work or an apprenticeship? So Rachel, do you want to have a go at that?
Yeah, so we can provide support with a number of things. So we have a travel training team in which we can refer to support individuals with travelling to new places of work or even work trials or placements when those are set up. We support with access to work applications. So obviously there's no cost to the employer for that. It's part of what we do to try and make the process easier and to get the relevant support needed for the individual and the employer. We offer in-work reviews and mentoring. So once somebody goes into employment, we will continue that in-work support to iron out any issues, to have regular meetings, look at any adjustments, obtain feedback. We also have job coaches who can actually go into the workplace to assist with the individual learning any sort of complicated tasks or duties within their role.
Okay, fab. Another question that we've had come through is, how do you differ from the job centre? So, Suzanne, do you want to answer that one for us?
So the question is, how do we differ from the job centre?
Yeah.
Well, we complement the job centre. That's the first point. We work in partnership with the job centre. So, and what we do is we receive referrals from the job centre. So candidates go there and come to us. What we do differently to the job centre is that we get the vacancy out there to the local residents who want some face-to-face interaction, perhaps to apply for the vacancy with us. We're there 24/7, so they can contact us, whereas they may only have an appointment every couple of weeks with their advisor at the job centre. So we are impartial, and we can access lots of training that can back it up, as well as work in conjunction with providers in the job centre. So I think in fairness, we complement each other as big players in the economy out there. We offer in-work mentoring support, which is probably our added value, where we are on tap for the employer from the minute the person starts the interview process, gets the interview, gets the job, and starts working there. So the employer can come back to us about an existing person that's fulfilled a job vacancy rather than a new vacancy, and we can support that person to progress onwards into the world of their business that they're in. Hope that helps.
Super, yeah, totally. So, and one's come through about something that we mentioned during the disability presentation, so probably one for Kate. What is an EHCP? And how do I know if someone's got one? So, Kate, do you want to?
Hi, yes, sure. So an EHCP, it stands for Education, Health and Care Plan. So it's basically a document for young people who are in education. So it can continue up to the age of 25 if they remain in training or an apprenticeship when they leave school. So they start whilst a person's in school normally. So it details their education, health and social care needs. So it's for someone who needs that extra support that the school can't provide. So if somebody then continues in training or an apprenticeship, as I said, the Education, Health and Care Plan, or an EHCP, will continue right up until they're 25. The EHCP was introduced in 2014 and it replaced the Statement of Special Education Needs, and I think most sort of people have heard of a statement, so that's why the EHCP might not be as familiar, but it replaced the statement in 2014. You can ask the person if they have an EHCP. If the person doesn't know, or they're not sure, and you want to recruit them, then please contact us. We can help support to locate the EHCP or find out what support needs they had at school, and also how to link those support needs with things like access to work and reasonable adjustments. And employment advisors will give you that guidance on how to apply those workplace adjustments.
Super. Brilliant, thank you, Kate. Because yeah, sometimes it's something we're all a bit guilty of. We use these jargon words quite interchangeably, so I think sometimes it's important to for us to actually explain what we're talking about. We've had another question come through. Hi, I work in a careers department, and I've got some in a school, and I've got some students who left in year 13 last year who are struggling to find apprenticeships. Can they contact you for help? Yes, please do. I will leave our contact details at the end. So We work with pretty much anyone that wants to find employment, education, training. You know, while we do have some funded programs, you know, that are only applicable to certain, you know, groups or age groups or stuff like that. Really, we will work with any employer, any person that is either looking to take on staff or someone that's looking for work. So there's really no limit. So just do get in touch with us. And as well, that's another way that we differ from the job centre to a certain extent, because with the job centre, they will only work with their caseload of people who are claiming benefits. Anyone can work with us, whether they're claiming benefits, whether they're in a job and want to go on and get a better job, whether they haven't claimed benefits for whatever reason. So, you know, we have access to a very, very wide group of people, basically, that can cover that. So yes, I'll put our contact details on at the end, and please do get in touch with us if you want anything. One other question is, and again, it's some of this jargon. So they've someone's asked, what is job carving? So Kieran, do you want to tell us a bit about job carving?
Yeah, sure, Nicola, thank you. So job carving, it's becoming more and more popular for employers and businesses. It's used where the person can successfully carry out most tasks in their job role, but then there may be another element of their task that they might not be able to complete. So there are times where it may not always be possible to find a candidate that complete all of the tasks involved in doing a particular job. And this is where job carving can be considered as a reasonable adjustment. It may be that the candidate is capable of completing a high percentage of the tasks, and the employer negotiates job duties across the team so that tasks are shared in a fair and equitable way. So job carving can lead to improved productivity, service delivery and profitability based on using a high percentage of the skilled workers' time to concentrate on those sort of complex tasks that may require a bit more professional level of skill. And naturally, this will benefit both the individual and the needs of the organisation.
Brilliant, thank you. Question about apprenticeships. So probably one for you, Suzanne. I've tried to take on apprentices in the past, but didn't really have much success with them. What's your secret for success at the council? So what's your success? What's our success rate like? I think it's quite good, don't you?
Yeah, I'd agree with you, Nicola. We've been doing apprenticeships, but well, I've been doing apprenticeships with the council for 15 years. Started in construction, which I think most people would say that's one of the hardest areas to work with, and we've got a few stories to tell. However, our retention rate was really good. We managed to get a lot through completion, and it's nice to see those young lads and lasses of those days actually now supervisors and site managers. With the council, we've done over 300 in the last 3 years, which is what, you know, we've started to win awards for. And what I would say is we've got an achievement rate of around 80% who go into a positive progression outcome, and that could be they've gone on to a higher apprenticeship, they've gone into a job, they've actually gone on to do. We've had some go on to do a degree. They've gone away to do their degree at university, and then also come back for their work placement to go alongside their degree. So yeah, all in all, we know how to do it. What we do is, and what we found from an early day was that you need to put that coaching and mentoring alongside it, and we do that within the council with a very good team. But also we do it with employers. So we will come out to your workplace. We've got some good employers who've won awards through us and with us. For the mentoring and coaching to successfully move some of their new entries into productive workforce that you know are benefiting the company, and then they've come back to backfill. So I think that in itself tells us what success we can do. So if you've got any questions, any thoughts on it, we'll come out and we'll come and, you know, we'll speak to you one-on-one and talk through your issues previously and try and see if we can put them to one side and move forward with it. Thanks, Nick.
And I'm just going to stay with you actually, because someone else has one of the other questions that we've had you can probably answer as well. Can you tell me a bit more about Kickstart?
Oh, yeah. I can tell you what we know so far. Yeah. As I said previous, for anyone who missed it, Kickstart is a programme that's being rolled out at the moment from DWP. It's one of the government incentives to get the economy back up and running after COVID, and it's a 6-month placement for someone who is unemployed, who wants to get work experience, world of work, taster, employability skills, any one of those type of things that they can't get from just, well, they can't apply for a job because they haven't actually got it. So what it is we're looking for employers who will offer that opportunity up. It's of no financial risk to yourselves because you will get reimbursed for the salary costs. All of that is going through teething problems at the moment. It's all the networking behind the programme, but we are quietly confident that will all, it'll all run smoothly once it's up and running. So what we're looking for is that you can think of a job that's probably, other people are having to add it on to their job in the workplace, and it could be a job for somebody that could get them on the career path ladder. It can actually get them into the world of work, and even if you can't promise a job at the end of it, you can give them a reference. They've got 6 months work history. They actually know what it's like to be a member of the team. They know what it's like to turn up for work. They know what it's like to have supervision, and it's giving somebody a good start in life. Similar to what we said about reverse marketing, it crosses across our team and the specialist employment team, because we have a lot of candidates who come to us either via the job centre or just come directly to us, who are looking for that step onto the ladder and who really need an employer like you to give them that opportunity. Thanks, Nick.
Super. Well, unless there's any more questions that want to come through, speak now or forever hold your peace. So thank you very much for staying with us, for watching us today. And I'm just going to round up by, as promised, I'm going to leave you with our contact details. So if you've seen anything that sparked your interest, you want to find out more, then our contact details should be with you now. So yeah, thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you soon.